What is going on, my people? Today, we are actually going to wrap up the last 4 episodes into a beautiful box, okay? Because we've been talking about different areas that people that we coach want to grow, right? They want to be able to change when it comes to like their health. They want to be able to make more money or grow their business, right? They want to connect deeper and better with their family. They want to be able to navigate not just the easy things, but the really hard things as they come up and not have to step back every single time that something happens because they think that that's just part of the plan, right? We want to be able to lean into these areas so we can change, not just change on an action level, but change on an identity level, right? So what we've been talking about over all of these episodes has a lot to do with what people think the problem is when they first come into contact with us and what the actual problem is. And so when we go through this, when you guys have been listening to these episodes, every single one of these, we have brought different situations that have come up where somebody brings us something they're like, how do I do this? Or how do I take this action? Or how do I get myself to lose weight? Or how do I grow when it comes to like clients and things like that? And when we get really clear on asking them some questions, we actually find out what is really under the surface, right? This is part number 1. It is becoming aware of what is actually driving your behavior. A lot of people are like, they want to know what are the actions that they can take, but they never ask themselves, who do I need to be when I take those actions? I mentioned that when it comes to the health, right?
Yeah.
Like I could be checking the box of like, did I do workouts today? Or I could be giving it my all. I can be showing up on fire, fully energized, drank my pre-workout, good to go, getting more results in less time, right? And the same is true in all of these other areas. Believe it or not, it doesn't take more time to be connected to your family. It doesn't take more time to be in better health. It doesn't take more time for you to grow your business. As a matter of fact, it's just about making sure that the software that you have running all of this hardware is functioning at its highest capacity. And this is really what we've been talking about is like being able to get in and identify what do I need to become aware of? What are some of the thoughts and perspectives that are actually preventing me from doing the things I need to do, but ultimately getting the results that I want to get? By the way, because a lot of people tell us like, I just want to be able to do the things that I want to do on autopilot, not have to think about it, can do it no matter like the situation is good or bad or whatever. And that's awesome in terms of that wording. But ultimately we want to get the results that we want to get, right? We're like, I want to be able to achieve this. I want to be able to achieve that. And unless you take control of your perspectives and your thoughts, that will be something you will not be able to achieve. And the only reason why is because when you start to put yourself out there, you start taking action and you're taking action from a place of disbelief. You're taking action from a place of like, I'm bothering people. You're taking action from a place of like, this is going to create more disconnection with my wife. You're literally going to go out and use that energy and you're not going to be able to do the thing that you wanted to do. You're not going to create what you wanted to create. And what I think is so crazy, and I've seen this happen hundreds of times, is I jump on a call, have a conversation with somebody, help make them aware of it, teach them some processes to be able to coach themselves, not just when I'm on the call with them, but outside of that. And the next time they came back, they didn't do anything different. They thought something different and they got results. They had their first couple clients sign up. They got to speak on that speaking stage that they wanted to do. They got to connect with their wife or their kids better than ever. They've been more consistent with their health and fitness. And all of those things were something that they could tap into to give them more power, to get them to show up and to take the action. And then I always ask them, what do you think your life will look like a year from now if that's the version of you who shows up to these challenges? Not the version of you that points fingers, that has these beliefs that are keeping them stuck, the version of you that is unstoppable, the version of you that has the energy, that is doing this for the right reasons, who is out there creating what you want to create in the world. What do you think is going to happen? And I see their eyes light up and I know what's going to happen because I can see it in them. And then we get to start to experience that week after week. But the truth is that's step 1. Step 1 is becoming aware. Step 2 is developing the skills to catch yourself in the moment and to do and show up differently. That skill takes a little bit more time. That's why we put together the Self-Leadership Lab. I had a couple people reach out who were like, hey, I'd like to be on that 1-day webinar. And I'm like, 1-day webinar is not what we need to change our lives. We need to understand what the operating system in our brain is doing, how to reinstall a new one. And plus there's like 3 other skills that I've never taught, not even in our certification, that I want to teach people in the Self-Leadership Lab to get them so that they are not quote unquote just forcing themselves or having to feel motivated first, but they get themselves to show up that way on purpose because they want to, and they can catch it before they go down that path. They can see it coming up and they're able to utilize that, not just when they're on a call with us, but when they're doing it by themselves. And here's the thing, like even our one-on-one clients, when we can jump in and we can help them see this exact thing, we still need to teach them the process of being able to coach themselves through it throughout the week. I know one of the things we do for our one-on-one clients is they have the opportunity to reach out to us, send us a text message of like what's going on. And really the reason why I do this is because I want them to build up the skill of being able to coach themselves and to take the actions they want to take in the moment. And that means when things are dirty, when things are not going as planned, and you have that ability of being able to do that. And yes, I'd love to be able to do that for everybody. I know not everybody can afford in terms of like paying for like a one-on-one, but that's why I really wanted to develop this program so that I can give people that blueprint that they can take away and implement into their lives, knowing two things. Number one is you still need to become aware of what's actually holding you back. If you were aware of it and you knew it, you'd have changed it already. It is called the unconscious for a reason. And there's something that is driving you to take the behavior and action that you're taking or not take the behavior and the actions that you're taking. And we need to be able to see it. That's built into the program. And number two is a strategy to be able to implement to get you to take the actions you want to take. And there isn't just one. There's 4 different ones that we're going to be teaching the Self-Leadership Lab, which is why it's a 2-month program to be able to get you to take those reps, to take action, for us to also be able to coach you so we can see some of those things, make you aware of them. And then from there, being able to give you a system to be able to go out and implement. So this is really where, when I think of the whole idea of self-coaching, this is that path, is being able to understand that self-coaching is not isolation. You need to have somebody point out some of these spots, some of these beliefs that are keeping you stuck. And number two is once you do that, you need to have a system that you can always rely on to get yourself to take actions, not because you want to be more disciplined, but because you actually want to do them. You're excited about doing them and your energy is high level. And that's what we're doing in the Self-Leadership Lab. It's only going to be open for a couple more days. We start on July 6th. If you're somebody who can make all the live calls, awesome. That's usually the best way. If you can't, but you still want to learn these skills, we built this in a way so that even if you just watch the replays, you're going to be able to pull out a lot. Of course, if you can make it live, we want you to be able to make it there. But this is one of those skills where when you lean in and you develop it, it's going to help you be able to make an impact in every area of your life, and it's going to repay you back in dividends. I was talking to my coach or somebody else, but they were talking about like, when you started to learn how to be able to be more effective at leading yourself, I want you to think about like what happened financially. And nobody had ever asked me that before because I always think about the impact they made in family, how I was this very angry person and how I primarily got most of that out of me, but then like all of these other things, right? But I never thought about the whole income thing. Because people also like to say, like, if I put this money in the program, what am I going to get back, right? There's this thing. And I know that intangible things are very, very powerful. But sometimes our brain's like, well, if I put this in, then I have to get this out. And I just want to share this. When I got good at being able to do this, I remember before we had this idea of being able to coach ourselves and being able to get into our brain and figure out what's going on, we were stuck around the $40,000 to $50,000 range. And I remember that after I learned this, when in that first year, we made our way up to $200,000 because of this. So when I think about the tangibleness of that, I don't know, what is that, 5X? Yeah, it's 5X what we were making. We didn't work any harder. As a matter of fact, I think we worked less, but we were better at managing our mind. And that managing our mind is what helped our clients get better results. It helped us get better results and had us using less time. Because think about this, how long are you overthinking the things that you're doing? How long are you stuck in your brain going the downward spiral instead of the upward spiral? How long are you convincing yourself this is never going to work, reworking your funnels, reworking all these things, and none of those things are the things that you need to change. Ultimately, you need to get in there and be able to manage your mind more effectively. And here's the thing, like, if you decide this is for you, love to have you in the group. If not, we're totally cool with that. But I feel like I'd be doing you a disservice if I didn't point this out, because there is a different version of you that's still inside of you. It's like the voice of your heart, where when you actually can tap into the voice of your heart and turn it up louder, it will get you to become the person that you truly are inside. And it's not because I'm going to be doing anything magical. It's not because Teresa's going to do anything magical, even though she's very magical. It's about being able to turn up that volume of that person who's already inside of you and lower that volume of the person in your head, right? Because that person in your head is going to try to convince you not to take the actions, not to do the things you want to do. We want to do whatever we can to turn up that volume. If it's just listening to the podcast, we'd love to do whatever we can. That's what we're here for. But we decided to put together these last 5 episodes because we want to show you how some of these things around managing your mind could be the thing that's been holding you back this whole time. And when you lean in and you develop this, it could be the thing that changes the game for you forever, just like it does. All right, guys, thank you very much for leaning into these 5 episodes. Appreciate you so much. Kurt, you are the man for being able to get these all out. I just want to share that. Thank you guys for everything. We know a lot of you guys, if we see you inside of the Self-Leadership Lab, super pumped to be able to work through this with you. If not, continue to tune into the podcast and we will see you guys real soon. Have a great rest of your week. And above all, keep leading from the front, all right? All right, bye, everybody.